Greetings and salutations, my dear esteemed guests and my beautiful subscribers. This is, of course, your crypto enthusiast Light here, and today we are going to be exploring the top 10 upcoming new blockchains. And the formula of success of making money in crypto hasn't really changed that much over the years, but the three most best ways to make money in 24 are as follows. Number one, we have airdrops. Number two, we have token sales. And number three is running nodes. And all of these three methodologies can be used with most of the projects on this top 10 list. So you need to understand that when things are on testnet, that is an advantage for you, that you know about this project before the sale happens, or before you can start running a node, or before the airdrop happens, and you can grind it on the testnet or on the mainnet in case the token hasn't already launched. So this is a very big opportunity for many people who want to get in early into something, so this is one of your chances. And first up on the list we have Massa, and this was actually on the last list which I did somewhere in 22, back in November probably, and that video obviously had a different list, and some of those are actually still the same because they haven't yet to be releasing their projects. And Massa seems to be like this new form of a decentralized blockchain which is not built on EVM. That's basically what I've understood from reading out their technology. They're claiming 10,000 transactions per second. And when people claim that type of stuff, it's also important to understand, like, okay, you can do 10K, but how much is going to the fees be like when you're going to be congested? And also, what is the finality of the, because it doesn't mean if you're going to be doing that many transactions, the finality of the transactions also matter. So there's a level of skepticism that you always have to have when people claim these things, but obviously we are in dire need of things that are not EVMs, okay? Like, we have to understand that, yeah, we have too many EVMs and none of them are basically able to scale, and the inscription craze was kind of like the proof of it, that the gases got either way too high or, you know, there was just a congestion. And currently you can run a node with Massa. This is something you should do because this is an incentivized testnet. So they're already claiming that they are going to be doing certain stuff. And I believe there might be some social media tasks that they have currently also ongoing. And it's likely going to be launching somewhere this year, maybe. I don't know exactly, but they are on the testnet phase, and that's basically could progress, but obviously we don't know, and it's probably, they don't have an actual roadmap here, so you have to do digging on your own. And I'm just going to give you a very, very like flushed out, the opposite of that. I'm going to be a very base look into these projects and what they represent. And I saved the second most, well, this is the most interesting project on the list in my opinion. This is what I'm really bullish about. It's called Babylon, and this is going to be an IBC chain. And they are basically creating this staking protocol for Bitcoin. So you can basically stake out your Bitcoin, and then you're going to be getting rewards in other tokens. And these are the proof of stake chains. And I assumed that these are the IBC chains that they are referring in here. That means like Atom, that means like Osmosis, Celestia, things like that. If it's able to add things like Solana and Ethereum in the future, that is going to be crazy. That's going to be absolutely crazy. So Babylon to me is very interesting project. There has been like Bitcoin POS coin already. It was a fork of Bitcoin, but obviously that's nowhere, and it wasn't giving you yield in Bitcoin. So this is like giving you actual yield. There's no bridging, no custodians, full freedom according to them, and there's some type of bonding process. So I guess the funds are gonna get locked in your account or something like that, and then you can like one stake, multiple yields. So this is still kind of like in early stages as far as I know, and there is like a wait list that you can join into, but that wait list is now filled. So basically you have to wait until that gets opened up, and then, you know, it's going to be proceeding. So I guess these are some of the chains that are going to be part of the current roster of things you're going to be getting the yields from. And that's something similar to what Kuji is doing, that they are giving already you yield in different coins by staking. So this is going to be very interesting, and obviously more things built around Bitcoin has been a bit of a moving on, and they have raised a lot of money. So 18 million. So that's a lot of money, and that means like, yeah, this is going to be high value project, and I think they have already announced there's going to be some type of airdrop. Moving on, we have a project called 10, previously known as Obscuro when we last covered it on the video from 22. And by the way, the rebrand is totally idiotic. Like, this is dumbass as fuck. I'm sorry, but like, Obscuro kind of like tells you something about like what the project is about, because it is an encryption chain, following, forming in the privacy elements. And yeah, and now you're going to be calling it 10. We already have a project called testnet, which ticker I think is also 10. So I'm not a big fan of the name, and I definitely think that they should change it. And basically this is going to be an EVM, but the privacy-based EVMs, well, technically they do not exist, or they may exist, but in a very, very, very small scale. So we actually have something that is taking a force on privacy, and that's going to be really, really good for people who want a money launder, or there might be many legal and non-legal reasons to basically use privacy elements. Some people want to avoid getting siphoned on airdrops and things like that. So this seems to be very interesting, and the token launch is going to be in Q2 this year. And there's going to be exchange listing at the same point. Currently, there's going to be an alpha happening very soon, so you definitely want to participate on that in order to participate on the potential airdrop and the distribution. I'm not sure is there like a way to run a node as of right now, but if there is, you should definitely do that. Moving on, we have Zai, and this is basically a layer 3 blockchain built top of Arbitrum, or basically using Arbitrum's technology. This is all based on gaming. So they have already like Monica Brands, a big like gaming and NFT based investor, and some other ones. And currently they have these Sentry nodes. I have one Sentry node which I launched before Christmas, or around Christmas. And basically you can run this node. It's pretty easy to run. There is good guides on YouTube, and it's definitely a lot more the easier things because you can set it up through a VPS. And I'm actually believing it's going to be pretty big. They are going to be doing an airdrop for people who are going to be participating on the Voyage thing. And they took a snapshot of the node holders back in December 28th. So I'm pretty bullish on this. The node does cost. So where can I actually see the node cost here? It's like 0.9 Ethereum or something like that. And this is the thing. Here's the catch. There's a limited amount of these Sentry nodes, and every time that these are being purchased, the price is going to increase. So I got in at 0.79. So that's how much has risen. It was started at 0.15. And at end, I think it's going to be like 3 Ethereum or something like that. You can also add a promo code. You can find these on the internet. Maybe after this video is out, I'm going to have my own promo code, which I'm going to be adding in the description. So you can use that. But basically, at some point, it's going to be, I think the way I measured it, it's going to be like $6,000 or something like that to run the node. So it's easily like 3 Ethereum or something. So it's going to be scaling up. And that's kind of like the model that Muria, for example, has been using. And I think these nodes are going to be really, really good income in the bull market and also in the bear market, of having like a constant cash flow coming out through these nodes, and running a VPS through like, some of these, like Contabo, for example, is not that expensive. So definitely something I would look into. Then we have another privacy project called Alio. This is going to be a whole new layer 1. And currently they have a testnet going on, and there are things that you can do under that testnet. They used to have some type of node program, and that might be on a pause right now. So, and there has been already like, I think, private sales going on for Alio. I think already some people are kind of in partner with them, but there is this wallet that you can get called Leo, and you can send, it has a faucet, but you need to use a mobile phone with that faucet, which is a good thing because I believe that's going to be like a criteria for an eventual airdrop. And they have their own EVM, or it's not an EVM, they call it Snark VM. So basically they are building something new. This is not just some Ethereum hard fork or anything like that. So this is one of the things I'm really paying attention to. Very, very prominent privacy coin project, which I'm also using the ZK technology. So that's kind of been a bit of a boom as of late. So currently there are some, apparently open roles. And there are bug bounties and things like that, by the way, also going on with these projects. So if you're a developer, you should probably give it a hand. But let's move on. We have another one called Saga. And Saga is IBC chain. I think it has been already announced that Saga is going to be doing an airdrop at some point, and these airdrops are likely going to be given into Cosmos and Celestia stakers, for example. I know Saga is a partner with Celestia, so that's probably going to be part of the criteria, and currently it says coming soon. And then there's this Innovator thing which you have to apply for, and you can't like even use the faucet on the testnet without becoming an Innovator. So you could try to apply for the Innovator, and you're going to be getting more money by doing that. So this is another project you can still have the time of actually participating on. And this is kind of like a more gaming based project, and obviously there's a lot of those currently, and here you can see the Celestia partnership. So another one definitely you should look into. And moving on, we have one called SpaceMesh, and this is why I'm really bullish on this, that they are doing an airdrop, is due to the fact that they are part of the Paradigm VC funding. So Paradigms, a lot of the projects, like we have covered this a million times, basically anything that VC invests on are issuing airdrops. Maybe they are telling the projects to do an airdrop or whatever, but that has been one of their methodologies. And SpaceMesh has testnet going on, and it's a new blockchain using proof of space time, whatever that means. I think it's similar to Solana or something. And I remember actually running the node or installing the node. It was kind of like a very tech-savvy thing to do, at least at that point. So I kind of like eventually quit on it, but I think I'm going to have to do another shot at it. But this is another one that's a very new type of technology, and that's what I'm bullish on, because I don't want to see millionth EVM, millionth Bitcoin fork. I want to see something new and something that is there to, provide something, fundamentally proprietary to the space. So SpaceMesh is another one to look into. And then we have one called Haven. And actually, this might not should have been on the list, but whatever. I'm not sure actually. This is its own blockchain, but we're going to be covering it, since this is like an airdrop on a project that is kind of like related into the it seems to actually do it's its own chain. I'm not sure. This is an EVM, but a bit different type of a thing. And they currently have a testnet. So you can earn rewards, and you can join the whitelist by connecting your MetaMask. So I recommend doing that in case you want to participate on this. And another one that's, it's early stages. A lot of the things coming soon here. So you are early to jump on the Haven one. Moving on, we have Monad, which is another EVM, but this is saying super scalar, pipelining for the EVM. So this one also kind of has a bit of a promise. And they also said single shot finality. If that's true, that seems actually pretty bullish. Also saying 10,000 transactions per second. And they are using a different consensus model here. That's the proprietary technology. So it's not like just an EVM. It's just like using something of a different consensus model, which might be more scalable. And I think they're currently on the testnet phase. And so there's a lot of ways to still interact here and get in early, and you've got a lot of big partners here in terms of investors. So another one to look into. And then our final and last project is called Laminar 1. This is like a metaverse orientated project and blockchain, providing builders and creators usable framework to create better online future. Metaverse thing is kind of oversaturated. Obviously not all the metaverse projects are on their own chain, so it's an uphill battle, getting launching, even with look at like Epic Games, for example. It had really an uphill battle them to compete against like Steam, for example, and Origin is another one. So in general, launching your own metaverse things, you have to have killer dApps, and you have to get people on it. If you're on some obscure chain, that's going to be really hard to bring people on. But it's another project that could be something promising. The website looks good, and there seems to be a lot of good documentation here, and they are doing something new also in the space, despite they are a metaverse project. But I recommend obviously reading the white paper. There's all the projects white papers, they have a better idea about tokenomics and what you should be grinding and what stage they are and when they're going to be launching. So this is 10 projects, very interesting list in my opinion, and some of these are going to be heavy hitters, like I actually did on the last video on November 2022. some of those projects tend to be like pretty big, like Celestia. But that's pretty much what I have to say. I'm not going to make this review any longer. Subscribe for more videos, and we obviously got a lot of airdrop stuff coming out in the upcoming days. But I got a lot of errands going on, so the frequency of the videos in January is probably going to be quite slower compared to December, but obviously join the Telegram and Discord to have the latest information about everything. I see you guys on the next video when it will be dropping out. Cheers.